today I'm going to be trying to get iroiro neon pink out of my hair. To my knowledge, this hair dye seems infamously hard to remove, and I didn't know that until after I had already put it in my hair, because I know a lot of color removers don't work on it. I know bleach doesn't really do anything, but I saw one girl on YouTube use Gaitang striptease on it and it got most of it out, so I'm gonna try that. And also, when you Google how to remove iroiro neon pink, it tells you to get Pulp Riot's blank canvas. So I got both of those things and I'm gonna try both of them out. I'm gonna do little test sections of my hair with striptease and blank canvas. I'm gonna start the test chunks with 10 volume developer because I don't wanna have to go over 10 if I don't have to. But I'm pretty sure the girl on YouTube mixed 10 and 20 to make a 15, and that's how hers got out. So I don't know how the 10's gonna work out, but I'm gonna try it to minimize damage. And yeah, I don't wanna waste this expensive ass product, so I am going to be testing them first. I literally just bought this Gaitang stuff off eBay because I am not a licensed cosmetologist, if you were wondering, so I don't have legitimate access to his products. I had to buy them through someone else. So I don't know, they could have just put baking soda in this bottle. Hopefully not. Same with this Pulp Riot stuff, except I bought this on Amazon, so I'm a little bit less skeptical about it. So in terms of the results I'm hoping for, I would like to get most of the pink out so I can do yellow. And you know, again, I'm keeping my expectations low because I don't know if this is gonna go anywhere. I hope it's gonna go most of the way. I'm thinking, since I have like, what is that, almost an inch of roots? Or a centimeter? An amount of roots. And the roots that I did previously are also way lighter than the ends of my hair. So I'm thinking if this section lightens up the most, which I believe it will, and this stuff doesn't get out all the way, then it'll be like a yellow to orangey yellow sort of situation. I think that might look cool. So I'm thinking it's doable. I'm thinking it might be possible, but I'm not setting my mind on it because I don't know how this is gonna work. Alright, my respective powders are in. Now I hope I don't overdo it with the developer. I mean, it's 1 to 3 parts developer. I think there's some wiggle room with that. I don't think I'm gonna fuck it up. Ugh, this is such a YouTube video. Okay guys, I'm gonna put my developer. Shut up. People just want to see if it's gonna work or not. I'm gonna try really hard not to mix these bowls up. They're on opposite sides of each other, so, but I don't know. Sometimes I manage to do things that are really dumb. That's like fine, right? That's what hair product looks like. It must be correct. I guess I'm gonna do the test chunk somewhere inconspicuous, but to where I can still see it. All right, Gaitang is going on first. I trust Gaitang with my life, so I think he might be the winner here. I don't know. Leave your predictions in the comments. Let's see if you're right. Okay, that is saturated. Blank canvas is going over here. I believe both of them are like 5 to 30 minutes for how long you leave them in. I need to find something to cover this with. I don't have foil. I know. Glove. All right, it's 5:34, don't let me forget. So, it's been a while, and if you're only here to look at the hair results, feel free to skip to the end. I will not be offended. Unless it ruins my YouTube recommendations, I might be a little offended. If you have never seen me before, you probably do not care about my personal life, so see you when my hair is hopefully yellow. Anyway, it's been about 3 months, perhaps. I just didn't feel like being on the internet for a while. A mental health break, I suppose. Like, for someone with an anxiety problem to be a content creator, and especially like these days when you kind of feel like you're being put under a microscope a little bit, it can lead to some burnout. Not in a way that's like, oh my god, cancel culture, you're gonna dig up my racist tweets that I made 2 years ago. Like, in the way that I overthink and I'm just like, what if someone thinks that I meant something that I didn't mean? And it's that thought, but all the time with everything that I say. But somebody's on Prozac now, so. And of course, there's like nothing to worry about in a logical sense. All of my morals are in line. I like to think that I'm a decent enough person at 20 years old, but that doesn't change the fact that I have an anxiety problem, so here we are. Not only all that, but I felt like people were not gonna like me after I cut my hair off. I have this one screenshot. There was this one comment that said in one video, oh my god, like, I'm so glad I found your channel or whatever, like, I love you so much. And the next comment they made was on my I just cut my hair video, and it said, I just unsubscribed. I was like, well, I mean, I wasn't not expecting that. And I know a lot of comments I've seen are like, oh, I just like you, it feels like we're on FaceTime, like just make whatever, we'll watch it. But like, it's undeniable that my whole niche has been the scene kid thing. I mean, like my interests are still the same, my general fashion sense is the same, nothing has changed, I just have less hair so I can't really do the scene queen look. Like I wear the same shit, it just doesn't have the same vibes, if you will. If I lost the thing that made me special, and it's like, oh, why are you still on my YouTube channel? But I figured a hair video is a good comeback. People love watching hair videos, so here I am. I don't know if any of those ramblings actually made sense to anyone. Hopefully my point got carried across. I just overthink to the point where it's painful and it gets in the way of my life. That's it. That's the whole story. Also, if we want to get into like the timeline of events, like I know, like I already just explained myself, but I want something to talk about, so I'm going to continue talking about my life because that's what I'm here for. When I cut my hair, I believe is when I just started Wellbutrin, because I'd started anti-anxiety medication. I started Buspar. Buspar was cool, but then I was like, oh god, like I'm still sad. Like it didn't fix everything. And so I started Wellbutrin because I was like, well, I probably have ADHD and Wellbutrin is kind of like a stimulant sort of thing, so maybe I'll give it a shot. It made me want to kill myself so bad. I'm still on it, but now with Prozac, it's like, I don't know, it was like the magic equation. I just started Wellbutrin when I posted my last video, so it was kind of like I needed to stop. Like, my life was bad. My brain was treating me very badly. I would just have breakdown episodes for no reason. It's like, as a person, if I get overwhelmed about something, I'll cry, but Wellbutrin, like, since it's a stimulant, my mind was finding more things to become overwhelmed at. Like, more than usual. It really ramped it up. I was still on Buspar too, it didn't do anything at that point. And like, the weird thing was, I have struggled with like OCD tendencies throughout my entire life. It'll get like way better than not good, then way better than not good. But like, it was the worst when I was maybe around like 11 to 14, give or take. After that, I was probably like, yeah, I probably have OCD, but it doesn't get in the way of my life, so. Okay, no, that's a lie, because normal people don't have OCD. So it did get in the way of my life, but to the point where I didn't notice because it was normal. And with Wellbutrin, I had waited like 2 months for the adjustment period and it was still like really bad. Like I was getting, I don't even know how to describe it, like superstitious obsessions. If you have OCD, you might know what I'm talking about. Your brain will just choose something and that is what you have to think about from now on. And like explaining that to someone without OCD, like I was talking to my doctor, like, yeah, I have been having like superstitious obsessions that I've had to like perform compulsions more often, and she's like, okay. OCD is such a silly disorder, especially because it's so different with everyone. Like I've met people with contamination OCD and I'm just like, how are we doing the same thing but different? Because I'm like the opposite of contamination. I'm a contaminator. I don't know, I have like the everything else OCD. Anyway, all that happened and I was like, okay, Prozac, OCD, I don't want to get on SSRI, but like whatever. It fixed it immediately. I was so convinced like this has to be a placebo, there's no way that this is working so well, but like my nightly breakdowns just stopped. After a few nights I was like, why is getting to sleep like not an issue anymore? It was crazy. Like I don't know, I was really scared about getting on an SSRI for all of the spooky reasons that everyone always talks about, but if you'd like a little bit of a success story, I love Prozac. I don't think I've had even one negative side effect from Prozac. I had way more negative side effects from Wellbutrin than Prozac. Wellbutrin made me such an insomniac. The thing with Wellbutrin is it made me so sleepy, but I just could not sleep. And same with Buspar, but then like Wellbutrin made it way worse. Like if I wanted to get any sleep, I'd have to take at least 3 Benadryl. And the weird thing is people are like, oh, Wellbutrin does the opposite of the weight gain with the SSRIs. Wellbutrin makes your sex drive higher instead of lower like SSRIs. I didn't get either of those effects. I ate more and I'm already like borderline asexual, so that was like still on the ground. And like with Prozac, I'm eating like the correct amount. I don't know where my sex drive is. It's probably at the same place it's always been, in purgatory. And like it's weird that I'm still on Wellbutrin because I had such a bad experience with it, but like now with Wellbutrin and Prozac together and everything is going swimmingly, I don't want to take either of those out of the equation because I'm not sure what's gonna happen, so guess I'm still on it. Anyway, there's my rants about antidepressants. I just love talking about psychiatric medication because they're all so different. They do such different things to different people. So it's like, oh, what did this one do to you? Like, I want to know. It's never the same. Oh, what's that, you ask? That is my Some Other Light by Drew Monson vinyl to celebrate Drew Monson uploading a YouTube video 2 days ago. I love Drew Monson so much. He's such a person. I also think he's so relatable as someone who creates content, not to humble brag or anything, but like when he was talking about how people would say that you could make any sort of video and we'll watch it, and he was like, well, yeah, if I filmed myself having a panic attack, you're like not gonna watch that.
Honestly, I am so glad. Like, people who have said like they miss my videos or I wish you were on the, like, I don't, and honestly, you don't either. Like, you don't want to have seen that content. It literally would just be me like, okay, all right, okay, it's happening. I think I'm dying, but I'm gonna make this video anyway. Like, it would.
And I was like, Drew, come on, honey. Relatability sells. That's what you do nowadays. The more famous and realistic you are at the same time, the more people will like you. That's just how it works. Like, we saw Shane Dawson's whole success story with the, oh my god, I'm making a makeup palette with Jeffree Star, I'm gonna have a panic attack. Guys, I'm literally panicking right now. Not to dispute Shane Dawson's anxiety or whatever, because I don't know, I know his name, not his story, but Shane Dawson, I have my eyes on you. Anyway, people ate Shane Dawson's whole mental health thing up. He was like the mental health king for a while. So I don't know, Drew, I love you, but I think you might be wrong on that one. If you filmed yourself having a panic attack, you'd win. I don't want to trivialize Drew Monson's mental health or anything, but I just love him. I don't know if he's actually like making a comeback or whatever. I don't know if he's actually gonna be here again. Like, he always says he's gonna come back and then he doesn't. Whatever happens, happens. I just like seeing the man. And him uploading recently has healed my parasocial bond with him. And that's the end of that discussion. This is like not going anywhere. This doesn't look good for me. That's still just pink. Do I actually have to wait the whole 45 minutes? Pulp says 30 minutes, but Guy Tang says 45. Man, now I got myself thinking of Shane Dawson. I feel like I always see him posting about him having a comeback, and I'm always just like, who's still watching him after everything? Like, whatever if he fucked his cat, like whatever with the blackface, whatever with the just generally weird behavior. You could choose any of those things to dislike. I feel like most people should choose one of those and be like, oh, that made him a lot less likable to me. You know, that's usually what I think when when someone builds a career off of literally doing blackface. Like, who's the demographic? Who is he making content for? Because for a while I thought it was like us 20-ish year olds who grew up with him. Then it's like, oh, like he's changing his brand as we're aging. And then it's like, oh yeah, he actually was pretty bad. And he still makes pretty bad content. So, like, we left the party. Most of us don't really want to like, so who is watching him? It's like the same thing when, okay, all I do in my free time is watch, not like drama or tea channels, but like those like little mini documentaries that certain YouTubers have, like what, The Right Opinion or anyone like that. That is all of the content that I consume nowadays. Last night I went back down the rabbit hole of the Ace family, and what do they have, like 20 million? Some kind of crazy millions. And I'm like, who are those millions of people? Because I have never I've never seen anyone even say I've watched one of their videos before. Like, who are they? Who are watching these people? Like, I guess there's a good few billion of us on Earth, but that's like still a pretty big number. Who's watching these clowns?
You guys got scammed?
How are they getting attention from anyone? I also don't know how people, well, I guess young people can't, but like for people to not pick up on vibes that YouTubers are putting out, I don't know, I'm kind of especially good at it. Like, I'll see someone, I'm like, oh, I don't know what it is, but I don't like them. Like, I have a whole list in my head of a whole list of people that I'm waiting to get canceled for whatever reason. I smell it. I remember hearing so much buzz about Creepshow Art, and I checked out one of her videos and I was like, I don't like her. Why do people like this? And then, oh, she's a stalker. I felt it. A lot of content creators are really easy to read. Are you some goober with a camera, or do you have a motive? I don't know. Well, I do know. I've been complaining for like 40 minutes and my hair is still pink. Might have to bust out the 20 volume. I might just. Oh no. Guy Tang, help me please. I haven't washed it out yet, but Guy Tang's looks like it almost went somewhere. That was with the 10 volume. So I might do my whole head with 20 volume and see where I end up. It doesn't, like, comparing these chunks, Pulp Riot kind of looks darker to me. I don't know, what do you think? There's also, like, still product on there, so I'm gonna go full striptease. So here's what I'm working with after I rinsed it. I do think striptease lifted it a tad more than Pulp Riot. This side is striptease, this side is blank canvas. I don't know, can you see that? I can barely see it. I think it did just a little more, just a little more. So I'm gonna do full striptease, 20 volume. Hopefully I can get some of this out. We'll see, we will see. I guess this is the correct consistency. I didn't measure it. I probably should have, but I didn't want to, so I didn't. 'Cause I mean, with hair stuff, you can usually like eyeball and be like, okay, is that the correct, is that what it's supposed to look like? Yes, they all look the same. All right, thoughts and prayers. No overcooked pasta for me, thanks. I think I paid like $40 for striptease, so this better do something. I know it's always been a meme for like makeup companies to name their shades like the nastiest stuff ever. Like, okay guys, I'm putting cum shot all over my lid. Oh, have you seen Jeffree Star's new lipstick color? It's called Piss Kink. He probably has one called Piss Kink. I don't know. Don't sue me, Jeffree. I don't have money. I don't have anything to offer you. Please don't sue me. But I didn't realize that extended to hair products now. Guy Tang's a silly man. Man, I wish I didn't run out of things to complain about. Now would be the prime complaint time. What else do I hate? You know, I've been playing a lot of Webkins recently. Fuck, I haven't done my dailies. There's a rare at 7 p.m. today. I have to get on that. 45 minutes. Don't let me forget. I don't like that Webkins is so virtual now. 'Cause I liked when you could buy the products and they'd give you codes. Like recently I bought Webkins clothes on eBay and that was very fun. And now I have physical clothes to put on my physical Webkins. But now it's like, oh, spend 1,000,000 e-store points on this golden sunflower reindeer. Like, dude, nobody wants that. And their new plushes are so ugly. I think it is for Webkins Next is what it is. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to all that, but man, those plushes are ugly. Webkins Next in general is hideous. I don't know what they were thinking. Webkins Classic is still so buggy in so many ways. I'm just like, no, we have to move on to this one. This is the one the kids want to play. I mean, like, I don't know, they had the right idea by making an app. I play Webkins Mahjong. I play Tile Towers literally every day of my life on my phone. Because, I mean, to be honest, I haven't found a Mahjong app that I prefer to Webkins. Like, they're all riddled with ads and everything. They could really expand on the whole application thing instead of doing ugly whatever. Whatever, it's fine. I try to keep fully up to date on all of the virtual websites that I was obsessed with as a kid. I know they're making a Pixie Hollow We the Pixies. They're making a new Pixie Hollow. Man, they're taking a while. I'm like, I'm not gonna complain about that because it's people doing the thing. They're volunteering their time and effort into making a whole game. Like, I get it, but at the same time, I'm a little impatient with the Pixies. I'd really like to be able to create my own account. Like, you can make a fairy and you can fly around, but you can't, like, make an account. Like, if you make a fairy, it's gonna disappear the second you exit the site. So I haven't really touched that game a lot. I'm kind of bummed. I'm so mad that Pixie Hollow shut down because I loved it so much. Like, I don't know, everything was pretty, everything was fairies and all natural, and it had fun little mini games. I miss the mini games. I miss the one where you could, like, I think it might have been something that you had to have a membership for, and you could, like, go into little caves and get special stuff. I don't know, there were, like, little caves in some of the places on the maps. Yeah, they had something to do with, like, talents, I think. I don't know, I can't say for sure, but I loved that one. Vantage, I looked up Vantage Rewritten, and there's some kind of thing, but it's only single player, and it's not like you can make an account or anything. It's just kind of like the map is there and the character creation is like kind of there. And it's like good for a little bit of a nostalgia hit, but it doesn't scratch my Vantage itch. It doesn't scratch my itch. I'm itchy. Vantage was so fun. My favorite thing was doing the fashion shows where you'd have a little theme, and it wasn't even like fake fashion shows like, oh, come to my igloo for a fashion show, and it's like the judges are a bunch of like 8-year-old kids who have no taste. It was like actually in game, I think, or like it was built into the thing and had their little themes. I don't know, I loved it. I had so much fun with that. And like I had memberships for like every game as a kid because I was so disturbingly hyperfixated on virtual games as a kid. And I mean, I still am, but now I still spend some money on them, but nowhere near as bad as when I was a kid. It was like to the point where it would get in the way of like my friendships in real life. One time on Build-A-Bearville, I went on my friend's account and stole her bear bills. Why did I do that? I don't know. I wanted them. I'm so glad I am not 10 anymore. And on Vantage, there was this one thing. You went through some sort of portal and you had some sort of like superhero powers. I don't know, but it was really fun. Wish I could remember, but it's been too long. They shut it down. I can't see. I'm sure I could find some footage of it. Every day I mourn the loss of Maze and Hamsters from Webkins. I played that so much. It was so fun. The 3D maps that were already, like, you know, the defaults or whatever, Moolah Mountain, all that stuff, that was like fun. I really liked the water level. Not level, the water map. I don't know. I liked all of them, but the water one was so peaceful. I'm gonna have to put some footage up. And one day Webkins was just like, sorry, Unity doesn't work anymore. And they just ripped it out of my hands. I'm never gonna play Maze and Hamsters again. And I know there's a Moshi Monsters rewritten, and that's like very active. They're very much working on that and updating that all the time. I don't go on it a lot because something about Moshi Monsters doesn't strike my fancy. Like, I did play it as a kid, but I don't know, it doesn't have like enough structure for my brain or something, and there's not really a multiplayer element, so I can't really vibe with it. Yeah, you can like add friends and post on their little postage board, but that's about it. I know Club Penguin Rewritten exists. I think there was like wasn't there like a whole thing a couple years ago where I don't know if it was Club Penguin Rewritten or if it was the other Club Penguin. I don't know. There was some sort of crazy drama that was happening, and I was like, oh my god, like Club Penguin drama, what?
On 3 separate occasions between the start of 2017 and the end of 2019, Club Penguin Rewritten experienced cyber attacks, 2 of which resulted in millions of user data being compromised. Yes, it appears our friend Riley was up to a little more than hacking people's Snapchats. Now, he had been reported for this all the way back in 2018 with corroborating evidence.
And I know they're making a Bearville rewritten. I don't know, I'm sure they're like understaffed and everything, but man, they're taking a while. They don't have like anything up. They have like a forum and stuff like that, but they don't even have like a demo, I don't think. Which is unfortunate for me because Bearville was the highest tier of my hyperfixation as a child. And it was really frustrating because I kept seeing them tease it on like TikTok and everything. And I was like, okay, so like you're teasing it, where is it? Like I'm on the Discord and everything. I always check if there's any updates and there usually isn't. It's fine, I'll continue to be patient. I'm just very excited, so it's very hard. And I'm also aware of the multiple Toontown rewrittens. I've played, I think, all of them at some point. I played Rewritten the most until I didn't because they kept like updating it. I was like, this is getting weird, I don't know. And then my friend introduced me to Toontown Corporate Clash, and it's like Toontown, but like, it's not different, but there's a lot more stuff added to it to make it a lot more of a more fleshed out game. They like took Toontown and made it in like a game. Like it's actually fun to play, but I haven't gone on it in a while. It's one of those things where I need to wait to want to binge it. And then when I want to binge it, it's gonna last a couple weeks. And then I'm gonna have to wait the cooldown time of another year. Did any of y'all ever play Transformice? I didn't play a whole lot of it, but I had a friend who was pretty into it. You were a mouse and you had a little mouse character. I think you'd go through like, I want to say like obstacle courses or something as a little mouse with all your mice friends. And then you'd win some sort of mouse points. I think it was cheese. I think you might have won cheese and you got to buy cool things. I don't know, I don't remember all of it, but I played it sometimes. It was a cute little game. Oh, I remembered something else I wanted to complain about. A lot of the reason why I decided to stop posting after I cut my hair was because I didn't want to be accused of trend hopping. I mean, like, teenagers on TikTok find something they like for a while and they move on to the next thing they like. That's how it works. And I mean, like, I have always been into like the scene alternative thing. So I figured if me deciding to cut my hair off, people would perceive that as like, oh, you're done? That was just a little thing you were doing for a while? Just a little persona? I didn't want to deal with that. I do get really bored if I look the same way for too long, which is, you know, why I'm trying to make my hair not pink anymore. And I seem to be failing at it. I might have made just the perfect amount of product. I don't know, I might have to mix some more because I really want this to be saturated because I want this to really work. I did do something dumb. I forgot that developer lightens your natural roots. I did not account for that. Guess I kinda indirectly saturated them enough to where it shouldn't be an issue. I just started with this section like 30 minutes ago and it has not gone anywhere. I seem to be quite thoroughly saturated at this point. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. See you in 30 minutes. It is tomorrow. My hair has been lightened. So yellow is out of the question. There's a lot of parts of my hair that I think could take a yellow, but it's too blotchy. I'm not gonna mess with that, so it's fine. I wasn't expecting to do it anyway. I was just hoping, but it's fine. I was thinking my only options are really keeping the cotton candy pink, which I don't want to do because I don't think it looks good with my skin. Or really my only other option was to do some shade of purple, and I decided on a lilac. So I got Manic Panic's Ultraviolet, and I'm going to dilute it. But first, I need to fix the mess that I made last night on my head. I mean, it's really not that bad. I just put color remover haphazardly and this is the result. The front looks pretty decent, but my roots are very different all over the place and that is what I will be fixing today. The back is pretty pink, so I'm gonna have to lighten that up a tad. So my move is I am going to mix 10 volume developer with bleach, put it on the darker parts of my roots, the parts that didn't lighten as well yesterday, let that sit for a few minutes, and then put it on the rest of my roots to get them all platinum-ish. And I'm also gonna be putting some strip tease on the pinkier parts of my hair. So that's what's gonna happen. Whoa, do you wanna come in? God, this is gonna be hard. Ew. I think my bleach cream is, I don't know, it's watery, so I can't use that. I don't know why that's like that. What towel can I ruin, or has already been ruined?
Oh, they've all already been ruined with...
Stop. I don't know what just came out of that bottle. It was like slime grease.
Discharge?
I still have my bucket of Kaleidocolors, so we're all good. I don't know how much I'm gonna need. Oh, I have a scoop this time. Excellent. I want to do a full scoop. Full scoop of powder. See where that takes us. God, I hope I have enough developer. Today's one of those days where I went to Sally's and I was like, okay, I only need a few things, and then I come back and I have so many hair products that are almost out. So, I mean, like, I have them technically, it's just I probably should have bought some more. I'm gonna add some 20 into this mixture because I have a lot more 20 than I have 10. And I want to save the 10 for the parts that are not my roots. So I gotta use it sparingly. Oh?
I'm just admiring your goo.
I'll give you some goop to admire.
Jackie's hungry.
Stop! Get her away from the bleach!
Jackie can have a little bleach.
I'll let her lick the bowl. Last time I was doing this mirror filming situation, I was looking at the small mirror into the big mirror, and someone in my comments was like, you're having so much trouble because you're supposed to be looking into the small mirror. And, I mean, they were right, but the camera's over here, so I guess I'm just gonna have to struggle.
I can get you, like, a better angle.
Acting out for the camera. Acting out for clout.
I thrive on attention.
There was also this one comment that I saw on that video that was like, you're such a jerk to your boyfriend.
It's true.
I felt bad because I was so bitchy in that video because, like, I thought you were legitimately messing with me.
Who's to say? Bygones be bygones.
Okay, I'm gonna start at the back of my hair because that's where the dark parts are very dark. Oh god, I turned around and the fucking exposure's up to like 100. Sorry guys.
That was kind of cringe.
Is there a way to be a YouTuber that isn't cringe?
Ray William Johnson.
What's he doing? Where is
Your
he?
mom.
I feel like I heard an update about him like last year or something. I feel like he was doing like, not TikToks, but I feel like he was doing like short skits and they were like really bad. I don't know, I'm gonna have to look into the Ray William Johnson more.
Get a collab.
With Mr. Johnson himself.
Oh yeah.
When I was talking to my coworker today about my hair situation, because like I walked into work with a mess on my head, and of course I'd have to explain the fact that I'm, you know, in the process of doing it and it's not done, it looks like shit, to someone else that looks like, oh my god, like you don't know how to do your hair. Which I mean, I kinda don't, but I have a decade of experience of me not knowing how to do my hair, so it kind of balances out to I know a little bit of things. But anyway, she kept trying to like explain everything to me. She kept trying to, I feel like, test terminology, like toner and stuff like that to see if like, I'd be like, oh, what's toner? And like, I get it. Like I walked in looking like someone who doesn't know shit about DIY hair. There was one point where she was like, oh, and make sure you take small sections of your hair. Like, ma'am, who do you think I am? I don't just throw chemicals around willy-nilly. Anyway, the main reason I chose to do lilac is because my coworker said it would look fierce on me. So she seemed quite adamant about it. You know how we were saying we need a couple's Halloween costume?
Yeah.
Can we be...
Can we be acid milk?
Well, we could have been before you interrupted me.
You can cut me interrupting you out so people don't think it's toxic.
We should be Junie and the purple robot girl from Spy Kids 3D.
Okay.
This is gonna be the shittiest video footage ever. I'm gonna have to like put some Webkins gameplay overlay. Think people will stay for that?
I would.
I look like the fucking worm from Labyrinth. And we're rinsed. I know I look like one of the fucking trees from the Lorax, but that's because I just blow dried it. I promise it does not feel much more damage than it already did. My hair wasn't really going cooked spaghetti mode when I was shampooing it, so that's fine. It's a reasonable amount of damage for a chemical process. Nothing crazy. It's looking quite more even, if I say so myself. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I can. It is time to mix some lilac. I got this fucking Manic Panic, like it's probably just conditioner, but I bought it anyway because I didn't want to use my expensive conditioner, and I was like, well, maybe it's like formulated to be optimal for fucking, I don't know, whatever. I made sure to go for a more cool toned purple because I feel like cooler tones look better with my skin. I have done a more orchid color before and it did look good on me, but I felt like, I don't know. I don't want to do the exact same shade of purple twice. And since my hair is so light, I would like to take this opportunity to make it as pastel as possible. And of course, there are some darker spots of pink, so I can't go super pastel, but I can go pastel enough. I also have to keep in mind that it's gonna fade. This is about where I've ended up right now. Let me see what's gonna happen if I apply that to a test strand. That is a lot of colors going on. I'm gonna have to go darker. I don't want all of my bands to be that visible.
Hey, bitch.
Hello.
Fuck about your pronouns. What nouns do you use? Y'all be identifying as a person, place, or thing up in here.
What do you think about this? I don't know. I feel like that I need to go darker because of all the shit.
You look like Twilight Sparkle.
Will you be my Mordecai?
Yes.
I think I'm just gonna go for this shade. So I can always darken it, but I can't really lighten it. So I don't know. It's going on. Whether or not it's gonna look good is up in the air. My roots are too dark. Fuck. Gotta say, this right here is suboptimal. I don't know, I really feel like this is just acting as a toner, if anything. I'm gonna add a little bit more purple. I'm gonna do it.
How's it coming?
I don't know. My roots look bad. Galaxy hair, perhaps?
Let's go with your Doctor Who shirt.
Oh, God.
you look like a Pokemon villain. Are we good?
I guess. There's no way this is gonna turn out well. Well, it's gonna look like something, I guess. Hello. It is now Tuesday. I started this project on Friday. I've ended up with a lovely Bonzi Buddy purple. So I ended up having to do some revising since the last recording I took. The first time I colored it, it was like a silvery lavender, but it was like a million different shades everywhere. My roots ended up not being light enough, so those were toned to like a light brown, and it ended up just kind of looking splotchy even besides the roots. Oh, I see a spider. All is well. The actual ends of my hair were kind of even to the point where I think it could have taken a lavender, but some of the parts just ended up being a darker purple than others. I don't know, sometimes I have this problem when I'm diluting colors. Sometimes it seems like I didn't mix it well enough, even though I'm pretty sure I did. And I don't know if it could be attributed to the fact that I used Manic Panic, which I usually have some kind of issues with. Of course, Manic Panic is cheap and accessible, and that's why I like it, but I was using it and I was like, man, I'd really like a Pravana color right now. I love Pravana's purple. I should have ordered it ahead of time. So my roots were really, really bad, so I had to end up going back with another round of bleach on my roots. And then it was fine. It was like platinum enough. It still wasn't completely even, but you know, that's my own fault. Now I know that when I use a color remover / lightener that has developer mixed into it, maybe I should try to think about my roots. The last color remover I used was the ion powder packet that you mix in with water, so that doesn't do anything to your natural hair, so I was coming from that being like, oh, this is a color remover, I could just apply it everywhere. No, that's not how that one works. So I guess it was kind of a reasonable mistake, but at the same time, not really. And I washed the next round of bleach out, and then I dyed it again with a darker shade, like I added more purple this time. And it did look better, but it still looked like some parts were just darker purple. And I don't know how I managed to do that. And even then, I ended up not really liking the lavender color on my face. It made me look kind of old. But at the same time, I didn't put on makeup through the entire day that I had that color, so maybe I just look like that. Because I have had silver gray hair before and it looked just fine. I don't know, it's a mystery, but it's gone now. So after that, I was like, oh my god, it still looks bad. I'm gonna put one more round of dye on it. And I tried making it like darker than I knew I wanted it because that's what I should have done in the first place. And so I ended up with this. I like it. And by the way, I'd really appreciate if you didn't leave unsolicited advice unless you've made the same mistakes that I have. Like, if you know why my diluted color ended up blotchy, sure, maybe leave me a comment. But if you just want to leave me a comment complaining about something that I already acknowledged I messed up and I should do better next time, then you can maybe not leave that because it makes me feel bad. Sometimes when I'm doing my hair, I'll say, okay, I know I should be doing it this way, but I'm not gonna do it that way. And then someone in the comments will be like, you should have done it that way. Like, I know, I just said that, I just didn't want to. I am a little bit worried for how this is gonna fade. I am planning on putting dye in my conditioner, so every time I wash my hair, I can like kind of slide some color back in. I've had to do that when I've dyed my hair that like orchid purple color, and it worked out pretty well. It did fade, but it was a lot more manageable because purple likes to leave quite soon. And I'm not trying to see the silvery mess on my roots. So I'm gonna try to do some damage control. So hopefully this was maybe a good example for someone trying to remove iroiro neon pink. Because when I was trying to do research, I could hardly find any results. All I found was the one girl on YouTube using striptease. So now you get another person on YouTube using striptease, but it works. I would recommend you would drop the $40 on it if you're trying to get it out. I did like Iroiro's neon pink, considering everything else. It did bleed a decent amount, and it did not want to come out when I wanted it to come out, but if you want pink hair like forever, then it is a solid choice. It's like it'll fade from the neon pretty quickly, like within 2 or 3 washes, but then the actual base pink will stay for so long. It'll hardly fade. So I don't know, I like it, but I cannot say I will ever use it again. I know pinks and reds in general love to stick around for quite some time, but I feel like I could have an easier time if I used some other brand. As far as damage goes, it's really not that bad. It's not much different than what I had to begin with. If you have somewhat damaged hair and you try to use striptease, it is a lot better than just using straight up lightener. I think if I tried to use bleach, my results would have been a lot different and I probably wouldn't have hair right now. I am gonna continue to use deep conditioner and all that. I bought some of Ada products and dropped so much money on them. I've tried out so many conditioners in my life, and Veda conditioner is the only one that makes my hair feel like hair. I'll try to do a little 360 for you. Yeah, it's decent. I don't really remember what it looks like in the back, so that might have been embarrassing. Oh no, that's fine. I can live with that. That's fine. This is a very spooky process, and I'm surprised that I managed to pull it off. I guess that is approximately all I have to say on the topic. Thanks. Bye.